Ladies and gentlemen, I assure you that today's commentary with a disclaimer show is going to be interesting. So, first, I want to post a little disclaimer. And the disclaimer is these video commentaries are from several dozen different people who have been sending me videos and clips on my channel due to my request of anyone who slandered me. We have a little disclaimer here, and then I will post the disclaimer itself, and then we're going to move right on with the show. Disclaimer. Disclaimer. So this is going to be a commentary pretty much on some of the videos that were sent me. If I were to go over all the videos that were sent to me and do show notes on those videos, I assure you it would take days, not hours. Could take weeks. So I want to thank everybody that sent me any and all videos, and especially those people that sent me videos of a montage of certain things that were said. Hello, John Boonbean. John, let me say hello to you. Good morning. Thank you for stopping by. And then let me get on with my show, please. Thank you. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about the videos that were sent to me, and I'll give you the highlights of the videos. Now, before I go into any great detail, I want you to notice the top of my screen, if you can. Each icon at the top, whose names I am not posting, each one of these videos at the top of my screen is an individual video or a montage of video clips defaming myself, Miss Daisy May, Warren H., Dave, Roberto, DNC, Flying Circus, Passport TV, Big Kevin, Aloe de Winter, and let me go back to my notes. Let's see, who else was involved in these videos that were sent to me? And then I'm going to get into some detail. I think I covered the 7 people that were videos were sent to me. Now, it doesn't mean that it's in the videos is true. I mean, I happen to know that the video that states that Warren H. and myself are gay men and flaming gay men for each other. That's not true. So there's a lot of the videos that were sent to me are just completely off the chain, off the hook, not part of any actual reality, although they do cause psychological damage to some people. And there has been hundreds of times stating that I am a scammer and that I'm scamming my Patreon community for money Whereas in reality, my Patreon community supports my personal opinions. DNC, I'm not going to mention anybody's name. I'll leave that up to your imagination. So before, I want to give a big shout out to my Patreon members who have supported me for 2 years. These are the members that have literally said, Michael Fazio, we love you, and we're going to support you. And I'm going to tell you something. All of these members have been members for close to 2 years. So let's give a little shout out to these people. I'm going to post this 3 times. There's 22 members of my Patreon community. I haven't lost any Patreon members in a few months now. And one thing I want to say about my Patreon community, these are people that know that what I do on YouTube is worth supporting, because I bring you a different viewpoint of the Philippines, and I have also great knowledge when it comes to ancient historical facts about the pyramids and about the Bible. And no one has ever tried to dispute any of my claims other than to say that I'm crazy, but no one will ever take the $10,000 Fazio challenge. So Ed Lippett, there's a man among men, retired Air Force. I love Mr. Lippett. Thank you for stopping by. Flying Circus, thank you for stopping by. We have some interesting things to say about you, Flying Circus, according to the videos that were sent to me. So I have to put my 4.5 glasses on to read this screen. Okay, so NDNC, oh my God, some of the things I will tell you that I will tell you people that right now, since my original request on behalf of the NBI, who said, see if you can get videos and people to send you videos and or document, so that I could document the events in the videos. I would say that full-length videos, upwards of 30, and montages of videos, so far about 5. But in each montage is several videos. And I have learned a lot from these montages and these videos. Now, I'll go into my show notes now, because this is important stuff. I have to tell you, there's a blogger out there that states he only posts facts. Okay, so, and he doesn't, his channel is based around truth and facts. This is on a video and repeated multiple times in many videos. So if you choose to believe this stuff, well, this is a man that claims he only states facts. So here are some of the facts. Here are some of the facts. My connection is unstable. Oh boy. Okay, it looks like it regrouped. Okay, so here are facts according to a YouTube blogger, and you can agree or disagree, because the reason that you can agree or disagree is because you've never met this man in person. And that's also a fact. How can anybody make a justification of anybody else in the entire world if you haven't met them in person? I mean, that's supposedly impossible to be impressed either positively or negatively against or for anybody in the world if you haven't met them in person. So based on that weird or strange assumption, nobody can vote for the President of the United States, because nobody has actually met Donald Trump or well, let's just say 99.999% of the world's population have never met Donald Trump. So nobody can vote for the president of the United States or of Great Britain, whatever they have, a king. Nobody can vote for any of these people because you haven't met them. Now, that is one oddball association of words. You make a determination whether or not a person is good or bad because you've never met them. But most people will never get to meet Donald Trump. So anyway, that's just a little sidebar. So let's see. Sasha, hello, Sasha. I don't know what to say to you. I know what you're going through, Sasha, with your mom. Had to hear about that. If you want to send me your phone number and you want to talk, please do so in an email, and I'll give you a call. Sasha's mother's very sick, and Sasha is in Florida taking care of his mom. Okay, so let me get to my notes. There isn't going to be another Jack Thompson. I tried to send you an email. Do you realize I don't have an email address for you that I can discern by using your name? Send me please, Jack. This way I can send you out notices for my live streams. Troll Patrol reporting for duty. Yeah. So Chase, when is the next anchovy and black coffee challenge? I'm not actually sure. I don't have anything planned. You know what? The next time I go to a pizzeria, Giuseppe's Pizza in Alona Beach, I think I'll try to remember to do a black coffee and pizza just for you, Chase. Thanks for why. That's one of my favorite videos, by the way. Thank you for mentioning that. So let's go to the notes. Now, I already thanked my Patreon members. So a few weeks ago, about a month ago, I asked on behalf of the NBI, I asked for any videos from any blogger anywhere on YouTube at any time in the present or past that has slandered myself or Daisy May and or any of my friends, which of course would be included, because if you slander me, you slander my friends, because I am associated with those people. Something that some people don't understand is that when you slander one person that is friends with another person, the second person may very well be slandered as well. And I'll give you a prime example of that. Okay, so what I just received this video 4 days ago. I will never reveal the source of my information except under if I'm asked in a legal situation, I will of course have to supply them with the information. So one of the things I learned from a video is that Fazio, and this word is used, Fazio is gay because he has a flaming gayness towards Warren H. And Warren H. has a flaming gayness towards Fazio. Now, Fazio is attracted to Warren H. because Fazio wants Warren H.'s money. And Warren H. is flamingly gay attracted towards Fazio because Warren H. looks at Fazio as his daddy figure. Now, that would not only incorporate gay and or flaming gay, but that would also like an incestuous behavior between Warren H. and myself. Now, I didn't know that till I saw this video this week. I didn't know that it was the truth, but I have seen the video multiple times in the past. But then when I saw it this week, I got to tell you, I really have to tell you, first of all, that's not true. But But for a man to state such, that's what I find really interesting. I try to understand what goes on inside a man's head to say something like that. Now, I know I'm not gay, and I'm pretty sure Warren's not gay too. And I know that we're not gay for each other, and we're certainly not flaming gay for each other, but I received a video stating such. So that's one of the things I learned this week that a particular blogger has said multiple times. Another thing that I have to tell you that in a video that I heard is that Daisy and I lived together for 42 months, and we never had an actual relationship. Now, that I've heard multiple times from multiple videos and on multiple different channels. So basically what was said is that Fazio and Daisy, or Crazy Day, as she's sometimes referred to, never had an actual relationship. It was only a business relationship. I didn't know that. I never believed that because I never even thought that happened. But it is stated as a fact on a channel that only produces facts of other people's blogs. I'm not gonna comment much further on that, but I was astounded to believe that a man would say that Daisy and I lived together for 42 months and we never had an actual relationship. But the words were much more severe than that. But of course, this is YouTube and they have new rules. So we'll leave it at that. Now, I'll let you guys decide whether or not Daisy and I ever consummated our relationship. But to that video, we give a big thumbs down to that video where it says that Daisy and I never had an actual relationship. Okay, so another video is that Daisy, I didn't know this either, Daisy left me to do Zumba sex with a real man. That's what's in the video. I just find it amazing that Daisy left me to do Zumba sex with a real man, as opposed to the Bahal Walrus, who isn't a real man. I don't know where that came from, but that's what was said in the video, or multiple videos. Just let you guys have your say so in the chat room without mentioning names, because this is a no names channel. So to surmise item one, Warren is gay for his daddy Fazio idol, but not just gay. Warren is flaming gay with Fazio. Fazio is flaming gay because he wants Warren's money. Now we're going to move on to Dave, because it's like this. Dave, not this is not me. I'm quoting by using pictography. Dave, he's not so sure about Dave either, and the reason, one of the reasons he's not so sure about Dave is because Dave didn't just marry a young woman. You could have left it at Dave married a younger girl, which most people in the Philippines, most men that come to the Philippines find themselves a younger wife, girlfriend, or mother for their children. That's just the normal way of life here. Not everybody chooses a woman of their own age. But Dave married, and didn't just marry a young woman. Dave married an effing FFNNNING, an effing bar girl. I have that video, and then this particular blogger goes on to state, did you like that I called your wife an effing blogger? I mean, an effing bar girl? Did you like that? And he goes on to gloat how he said those things on a YouTube commentary, supposedly, that he posted on his channel. And that's what he said. And also, of course, he went on to further say that, which is not true. Neither one of what I previously said about Dave is true, by the way. But he also pretty much, he called Dave a molester, and that, in fact, Dave molested his niece, which is not true. It is not true that Dave molested his niece. It is not true that anyone said Dave molested his niece. Yet, this blogger went on to say that Dave molested his niece with no proof whatsoever, just like item 1. There's no proof that Warren is gay for me or I'm gay for Warren. There's no proof that I'm a flaming gay man or Warren is a flaming gay man. And there's no proof that I'm a flaming gay man for Warren's money. Right, I'm going to go back to my. I'm going to go back to the comments before I get to number 3. Number 3 is one of those lollipadoozers. Okay, so okay, let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here in the comments. I got to open up just give me about 20 seconds. I have to open up another page to see the notes themselves. I can see it on YouTube. YouTube does some strange stuff with the size of their pages. I mean, their page, when you open up a live stream, their page should be that you can see the comments, but you can't. You can see half of the column of the comments, and I don't understand. Now, even when I reduce the page, it still only shows like 7/8 or 3/4 of the comments. So, and I want to go over, before I go much further, I want to go over the picture on the thumbnail. Is not the NBI picture, but it's a picture of a monkey. And this monkey is it's the name, well, let me just show you the video. On a BBC Earth documentary, which I'm subscribed to. This is one of the things I watch when I'm not working or doing YouTube or tagging videos. So now I can't play the video, but I can show you that this represents, it was just a random time that I stopped, but it's a documentary on the greatest fights in the animal kingdom. And this one is about monkeys fighting other monkeys. And let's see if we can find it also has kangaroos fighting kangaroos. And these are this is a picture of the monkey looking from behind the rock before he's going to call out the other monkeys, which they'll all run down the side of a mountain. They'll all run up the side of a mountain. After this is Scarface right there, and they're going to run up the mountain, and the other monkey that's challenging Scarface for the brood of monkeys. So with this Scarface, he's like the oldest monkey in the tribe, and he is being challenged by another monkey who eventually Scarface runs up the mountain, and then you'd have to watch the documentary to see what happens, but it's pretty interesting. So I couldn't find some files because I moved them to another drive, so I couldn't put up an actual NBI picture. So, and that was just the next link on my channel. So I used a picture of a monkey from a documentary called The Greatest Fights. And you know what? I'll just post that. I'll post that link because this is a way cool video. says, watch as monkeys, guanacos, and kangaroos all head in our greatest animal fights. So I think that this is something worthy of doing on YouTube when when you have nothing else to do and it's late at night and you just want to sit back and relax and to watch the animal kingdom in its greatest feats of accomplishments and works of art. I mean, this monkey thing is just a work of art. So let's get over back to the NBI update. And oh boy, okay, the feed is lost. No, it looks like it's still on. Okay, you lost your feed, but it looks like it's still on my end. Okay, so some of the comments. Ed Lippett, Mr. Pebbles, Miss Pebbles. Hello, Miss Pebbles. I remember your name. Nobody, Miss Pebble. I remember your name from years ago too. No one has ever challenged taking the $10,000 Fazio challenge. Miss Pebbles has been a subscriber on my channel for as long as I can remember, probably from day one. No one ever has. And typically when someone does say that they wish to take $10,000 Fazio challenge, I tell them to read my book, which sells a book, of course, and you never hear from them again. You won't ever hear anybody taking the $10,000 Fazio challenge. Thank you very much for stopping by, Miss Pebbles. One of my oldest subscribers. I actually remember that name from, could go back as far as 2010. Michael McFarland, John Boone. Miss Pebble says, they don't know you. I do. Leave him alone. I've been knowing Mike before you moved to the film. Now there is proof that my memory serves me correctly. Miss Pebbles has been a member of my community for as many years as I can remember, and probably going back to 2010. Thank you. Jack Thompson comes up with a really intelligent quote, as does Miss Pebbles. They don't know you. I do. Leave him alone. I've been knowing Mike before you moved to the Philippines, and that's the truth. Thank you, Miss Pebbles. Jack Thompson says it's called projection. When people accuse others of what they are guilty of. Now, I wouldn't go so far as to say, well, there's different levels of being gay. I wouldn't go so far as to say the other blogger is gay, but I would say that it plays heavy on his mind because he has accused every famous blogger in the YouTube community of being gay. And that would be something that, there might be some insecurities about his manlyhood if he has to go around calling every other blogger. Now, I got to remember now, I've been sent a lot of videos, and when I say that these videos are talking about someone being gay, there are videos to that effect. DNC is in the house. Welcome to the machine. Okay, I think the feed is still on, DNC. We have 21 watching. Jack Thompson, DNC, usually folks that overly protest are guilty of what they are protesting. In other words, he likes, I don't know what that word is. Probably, that's probably, it looks like a Latin derision of liking little lollipops. Yeah, DNC, I saw that. I read that article. If you could post a link to that. No, we're not going to go there. Thanks anyway. So, okay, Miss Pebbles has actually purchased my book. Thank you very much, Miss Pebbles. Appreciate that. And the people that have purchased my book, I hear all kinds of stories that my dollar bill. Oh, that's another thing that the one of these YouTube geniuses commenters said that the what I wrote in my book and what I make videos about is just an arbitrary opinion or just his thoughts with not based on reality, when in fact I have challenged the world's leading experts in the Bible, the King James Bible, and the so-called experts on pictography and symbolism on the dollar bill. No one ever will challenge me. No one ever has challenged me, and no one ever can challenge me and win. So we all know that, Miss Pebbles, but thank you for pointing it out. Let's see. Jack. Now, I have been accused of being a lot of things in my life. Okay, a lot of things. But I will tell you, if I really think hard, I can't remember anybody ever saying that they thought I was a gay man. Now they may have said it behind my back, but rest assured, no one ever said to me, Michael, are you gay? They never questioned. That was like a question I can't remember anybody ever saying in any kind of serious mannerism. You know, like when you with the guys, everybody goofs around. If you're going out with a woman and they're going, well, it's better than being gay, you know, like a woman that might not be so attractive but might have a great personality. And you know how your friends are back in, well, I don't know if you know, but back in New York, your friends will kid around about stuff like that, but nobody ever actually said that. And I could assure you that saying that a person is gay to their face probably isn't a good thing. Probably not good for any kind of a personal relationship. Look at this. My tag is hanging out. Oh my God. I'll get condemned that I have my tag on. Let's see. So Jack Thompson says the only time I ever think about a certain thing is when I watch the DOD videos. That's right. Miss Pebble says, I had your book years ago when you started. Yeah, my book was, I used to sell a lot of copies of that book. I don't think I've sold the book in over a week now. It's very strange. Well, I haven't done many videos about the dollar bill either. I have actually, Miss Pebbles, I've been busy. I have equipment that I repair. I had a big repair job this week. It wasn't a hard job. It was a laborious job because I had to lay on my belly to get to the starter on a what is called a track hoe, and it was the middle of the afternoon. It was very hot, and basically I just had to lay on my belly for about probably 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours, to get the unit apart. Then it started raining, and I was working in the rain. And then I got cold. And the next day, I didn't really feel like working, but I went out there anyway because it was sunny. And I went back to the field, and I moved. I made the mistake. I moved the machine onto somebody else's property to do something. And when I shut the machine off, because I didn't want to waste the fuel, the machine wouldn't start. So now here I am obligated to fix this machine. The neighbor was quite comfortable with having the machine on their property. They had no problem. Probably they're going to end up wanting to use the machine at some point. But, you know, it was still on another person's property that had to be moved off. So I went back, and so that took up 2 days of my time this week. So I haven't really done a lot of dollar bill videos. Thomas Grube, welcome to the machine. Thomas Grube is a member of my Super Chat community, and I also want to talk about my Super Chat community. I have 22 members of my Super Chat community. Now, a lot of my personal videos, and I don't mean anything that can't be posted on YouTube, but there are people that pay several $100s a month to watch my YouTube videos. So I keep some of them at different levels. Occasionally, I'll just post a random video at the $1 and up tier level, but that's not the norm. I have a lot of videos that perfectly okay to post on YouTube, but being that YouTube keeps reducing everybody's income, I just give them to the people that support my viewpoints. And on Patreon, of the 22 people, I'll post a video, let's say at the $1 and up range, and maybe I'll get 4 views on it. So not everybody on Patreon is a member of my Patreon community to watch my videos. They just want to give me money because they love my point of view and or my content, or they just like to see somebody that's a working class hero, as John Lennon would say, post videos about the Philippines, because nobody in the Philippines community can walk on a construction site and get everybody laughing and jollying and having a good time and doing aerobic exercises. There isn't a person on YouTube that can do that or has ever done that before. And a lot of the men on my Patreon community and women are working class people that love to watch a guy that knows how to work with his hands, knows how to fix equipment, knows how to run equipment, knows how to run a tugboat, barges, cranes, airplane mechanic, all that stuff. They want to watch a guy, a real guy, a blue collar guy from real life do videos. And they may not watch my video for a couple of months, but right now I have over 700 videos on Patreon. And I think that my Patreon account is well worth it, considering that the 700 videos, some of them are 4 or 5, 6, 7 hours long, that I don't post on YouTube. Flying circus. Maybe they said it behind your back as they watched you walk away. No, I gotta tell you, it's just not something that ever came up in there's a reason it never came up, but I won't go into the reason. I'm not going to sit here and give you a dating history or my dating history, but there's a reason that me being gay never came into the picture. All right, so morning, Mike. Mike Luna. Morning, Mike. I hear this is the place to learn about the flat earth. Well, Mike Luna, I'm not real sure who you are. Let me go to your channel and see who you are before I reply. I know that name, though. And Mike Luna, I would ask you a question. If you are questioning whether or not the earth is flat, I would ask you a question to find me even one proof that the earth is round, other than the fact that you have, let's see what you have about, other than the fact, well, at least you have some information. You don't have any videos, but let's see. Yeah, you did. You had a live stream a year ago about planes. Okay. I would ask you to find me a piece of information proving that the earth is round. You can't do that because it's not possible. It's just not possible to prove the Earth is a globe, a sphere. If it was possible, the simplest way to make it possible would be to have aircraft not fly from east to west around the globe, around what they call the globe, but to fly from north to south. So, in other words, at any given point, start and head north and go over the North Pole and then go circumvent the globe, and then fly over the South Pole. No one's ever done that before. At least no one's ever documented it. And in fact, if any person ever tries to fly over the South Pole, Antarctica, there are military forces from several different countries. I think there are like 13 countries that protect the South Pole from any aircraft flying over a certain latitude or longitude. And what they'll do is they'll shoot you down. The United States Air Force, Great Britain has a flying force there, China, Russia, South America, I think it was Venezuela. Anyway, there are several dozen members of a certain community that will shoot your airplane down if you try to fly over the South Pole. Now, I would think that would be pretty dangerous, that they shoot you down when it could be 60 degrees below zero on the ground. Why wouldn't they just let you fly over the South Pole? And this is a legitimate question, by the way. Why wouldn't they just let you go over the South Pole, and if you run out of fuel, circumventing the globe from north to south and south to north or whatever, then there's no problem. And if you make it, then you'll know what's on the other side of that latitude of the South Pole. So no one has ever done that. They will shoot down a balloon, an aircraft. They will not let a man walk across Antarctica. The only documentary of a man walking anywhere in Antarctica that said he circumvented Antarctica is a hoax. I'll give you for instance, if my hand is Antarctica, okay, the man that they said walked across the Antarctic dog sled, he didn't walk from the bottom of Antarctica around to the other side of the globe. He didn't do that. All he did was come on Antarctica at a certain point and then came across to the thumb. But it was only like 1/20th of the distance he would have needed to travel to go around the supposed ball. No one has ever gone. Now, they say, and this is nonsense, they say it can't be done because the temperature is too cold. Well, most aircraft that fly, like the SR-71 and other experimental military aircraft, most of them fly at altitudes above 50,000 feet, fly in temperatures at 60 degrees below zero or even colder. So the temperature of Antarctica at 60 degrees below zero is not something that anybody can use as an example that it can't be done. And I have a water distiller outside making water. I will be back in 6 seconds. All I have to do is shut the water distiller off. I don't have to bring it in. I had to do that because the seal on the water distiller is drying up from when the water boils out of the distiller. And when the water boils out of the distiller, the rubber gasket, being 10 years old, is starting to crack, and I don't want it to break. That's how I distill all my water here. So digressing back to whether or not anybody's flown over Antarctica, and the reason that they say no one can fly over Antarctica is because it's too cold. That's nonsense. There are private individuals that own military-grade aircraft that can fly at 80 degrees below zero. And in theory, they should have plenty of fuel to circumvent the so-called globe at 50,000 feet or 80 degrees below zero Fahrenheit. They should have plenty of fuel to get from one side to the other. So why the military doesn't let you go from north to south circumventing the globe is because something is out there. And maybe it's the fact that the earth doesn't end where they say it does and goes on forever. Just the same way there is no proof, not one single photo of the earth from any spaceship or spacecraft or nothing that has ever left Earth orbit, supposedly left Earth's orbit. Nothing has ever taken a picture of the Earth from any distance. The blue ball picture of Earth, supposedly when the astronauts were halfway to the moon on July 17th of 1969, is not real. It's a composite, as are all pictures of all solar systems and all galaxies and all planets. They are composites. There is no such thing as a real picture. Now, so we've been going up into space for what, 75 years, and there's not a single picture of Earth from a distance. You know, the government is not telling you the truth about everything. And I could get involved with that to a great degree, but there are so many proofs. The inventor of the V2 rocket, which eventually became part of a group of people that was sequestered to the United States, Werner von Braun, he said that in order for a spaceship to get from Earth to the moon and do all the slingshotting and circumnavigation of Earth and the moon to get their velocities up and so on and so forth, you would have to have a rocket the width and depth of the Empire State Building and 3 times the height of the Empire State Building, and that would have to be filled with fuel to get 4 men or 3 men to the moon and back. So the actual inventor and a major contributor to the Robert H. Goddard rocket informational blog that Robert H. Goddard was a man that was supposed to have invented the rocket, but modern rocketry. I would know that because I went to Robert H. Goddard School. So, so the flat Earth. So getting back to some of. No, I don't have a new book, Miss Pebbles. No, I don't have a new book. I'm not gonna because they would not let my book become world renowned and give it the accolades that it deserved. There would be no reason for me to write another one. I'm not going to spend 10 years of my life sitting in front of a computer screen. If the powers that would be the 3 principalities that run the world, and it's not the globe, it's the flat Earth, are the Vatican, the Bank of England, and the United States government in Washington, which would be called, what would they be called? They would be called three sovereign nations of the world. The Vatican is a sovereign nation. It pays no taxes. It has its own military and police force. It pays no taxes, and it has its own laws. It's one of three nation states that control the world. And we have the sovereign nation of the Washington, D.C., otherwise known as British Columbia, and the Vatican. They adhere to the same rules, which are no rules, their own military, their own police force, and they pay no taxes. And we have the Bank of London, which is otherwise known as the Square Mile of London, which is part of the three nations that rule the world. The Vatican rules the spiritual nature or supposed understanding of spirituality. The Bank of London rules the economic structure of the world, and the sovereign nation of the British Columbia, which otherwise in DC, rules the military aspect of the world. Although all three of them have ties and are controlled by the Rothschilds, which control the Vatican. And I just posted a video about the Masonic icons on a bronze statue outside the Ayala Mall. And the links to that video, or that are in that video, will give you all of what I just said. But there is so much more to say. So you can keep following those links forever. The Illuminati controls the Vatican, but the Vatican is also part of the Rothschilds' legacy. Controls the money for the Vatican, which is an arm of the Rothschilds. And the Rothschilds control most wars that have ever occurred throughout history. And that controls Washington, D.C., controls the world wars. Therefore, the Rothschilds control Washington, D.C. There is something much, 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 much more sinister and or secretive than the Illuminati and or the Masons and or the politics that go on in the Vatican or the Bank of London or in Washington, D.C. Those people are not who control the world. More, I don't know if it's something much more complex of what we might call spiritual, even godlike nature controls this world, but it always has controlled this world. So to digress, no picture of Earth has ever been taken from any spaceship because no one is to have ever left Earth orbit. That's a fact. Every single picture of Earth is a composite, and the composite changes. I don't know why they do it, but the composite has changed. If you look at Earth's composite pictures, I'll just Google it. Earth composite pictures, composite pictures of Earth. Composite pictures of Earth from space. All right, we'll just go to composite pictures of Earth. We'll go to composite pictures, and then we'll go to non-composite pictures. So let's go here. Let's put this, and you'll see that every picture is a composite. There are no real pictures of Earth. There never has been, and to this day there is none. So here is here is the composite pictures of Earth. Whatever they call the blue marble from the 1969 launch to the moon, that's what they're all composites. So what is the real photo of Earth? Let's see if that has any bearing. All right. Okay, but this is not true. The blue marble is an image of Earth taken on December 7th, 1972, from a distance of 29,000 kilometers, 18,000 miles away from the planet's surface. That's why didn't the Apollo 11, the one that went to the moon, why didn't they take a picture of Earth? Because it never happened. First of all, you can't take a picture of Earth, and second of all, no one has ever gone past what flat Earth people believe is called the dome. So you can look that stuff up till you're blue in the face, but there's never been a rocket launch that they don't go straight up. Why don't they go straight up? Now, I'll give you why. I didn't want to get into the flat Earth theory, but it's a really good concept. When I lived in Key Largo, and I lived there for 19 years, I saw go past my house, probably 10 miles away and several miles in height. I saw 3 launches from Cape Kennedy. And all 3 launches, now, all 3 launches you could hear. Now, many more I heard that I couldn't see because of the haze, but all 3 rockets that were supposedly go into space for the shuttle, all 3 were going horizontal from 600 miles away from Cape Canaveral as far as I could see them from left to right. They never went up. So they traveled the distance of, at night you could see them for, I guess you could see them for 40 or 50 miles to the left and 40 or 50 miles to the right. And they were already 600 miles from Cape Canaveral. Why were they not headed up or out of into Earth's orbit? Because there is no, it's just that simple. It's not